everyone. It's your girl, Rosita Cooper. Welcome back to Living Your Dreams with Rosita. Today, my special guest is Chef Jernard Wells. You may know him from the TV network Cleo TV. He's the co-host of The Best Things I Ever Ate. He has been a chef for Tyler Perry, Steve Harvey. He has appeared on CNN, The Morning Show, Lifetime, Essence, and many, many more. And he's from Mississippi like me. So stay tuned. You do not want to miss this. Coming up on Living Your Dreams with Rosita. Hi, everyone. This is Rosita Cooper with Living Your Dreams with Rosita, and I have Jernard Wells here with me, Chef Jernard Wells. How are you today?
I am doing good. Thank you for having me on. Hey, during these crazy times, it's still good to see some other outside faces.
I know, right? And I thank you for being on here. I am honored that you are on the show. I know we're supposed to be doing some stuff. You're still going to be in my magazine and everything.
Yeah.
But I am honored that you are on here. You're doing some amazing things.
Thank you.
So I want you to tell everybody where you're from and give them a little bit about yourself.
All right, yeah. Now I'm originally from Mississippi. That's where I grew up at, but I live in Atlanta. Over the course of this time frame for the past, I've been a chef in the culinary industry for 21 years now, and during those 21 years, I've been with Food Network for 10 years. I co-host a show on cooking channel, the Best Things I Ever Ate. Prior to that, I did shows like Food Network Star, Cutthroat Kitchen, Chef Wanted, a host of other shows. And then I have my own show on TV One's sister network, Cleo TV, which is called New Soul Kitchen.
Nice. I seen that, and congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Okay, I seen that you have worked with some big major stars and stuff. Tyler Perry, Steve Harvey, CNN, all type of stuff. What's HLN, Morning Show, Essence?
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us about everything. I know people want to know about you working with Tyler Perry and Steve Harvey too.
And I must say, food has truly opened up a lot of doors for me and been a great journey thus far. And yeah, when Tyler Perry was doing the play Medea's Big Happy Family, I had the opportunity to actually work and travel with him while he was doing it. And it was one of the most amazing times in my life of being able to spend that on the road and seeing really in depth on how they set up and structure everything. Because people just come and see the shows and they enjoy the shows, but they don't know all of the work and craziness that goes into the behind the scenes. And I actually, is the funny thing, I garnered that opportunity because I truly believe in speaking things into existence, and I believe we can achieve anything that we truly believe in. And years ago, I put on my vision board, it was a host of people that I wanted to cook for, I wanted to meet. I had like Tyler Perry on my vision board, Oprah Winfrey, how many books I wanted to sell, TV shows I want to be on, all these things. And I remember I was living in Chattanooga, Tennessee at the time, and I heard them announcing Tyler Perry was going to be coming to the city to do the play. And I was like, man, I'm a cook for Tyler Perry. People thought I was crazy. I was like, watch and see. I said, I'm a cook for Tyler Perry. And so the story, I reached out to the auditorium that his show was going to be, and I said, hey, I see Tyler Perry's coming to town. I want to provide a complimentary lunch to him and his team just for coming to the city. And I said, and I want you guys to vouch for me, but so that you can vouch accurately, I would like to provide a free meal for you all to try. So when you all reach out to him and tell him how great my food is, you can honestly say it. And they were like, okay. So they let me, I created a lunch for them. They really enjoyed it. They reached out to him. It was probably about 30 days passed by. I didn't hear anything. One day I remember I was walking through the airport, headed back home, and I received a call from his road manager. And his road manager said that Tyler had received a message. I want to provide a free lunch for them. And I was like, yeah, that's correct. He was like, but Tyler wanted to know since I was saying I wanted to provide a free lunch, did I know how many people I would be providing free lunch for? And I said, no. He was like, well, that's something you probably want to find out before you just agree to it. I was like, okay, well, how many people? He was like, it's two tour bus loads, it's 150 people. And I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, yes, I still want to do it. And he said, great. Tyler was hoping that you said that, because not only will he accept your free lunch, but he, for him and his whole team, but he wants to purchase breakfast from you, he wants to purchase dinner from you,
Oh, wow.
and a snack. Yeah, and I always say in the entertainment industry, or regardless of what we do, you always create each opportunity as if it was your last, and you really just do your best. And from that, when he tried the food and said it was so amazing, he was like, hey, how much would you charge to go on tour while we doing these shows, and we give you select locations where we would be at, and I'll just show up at the places and transform a whole room into a dining hall for him and the whole team to be able to eat in. So it, truly one of those great stories that I always love sharing.
Oh, wow. It is a great story. And the thing is, Tyler Perry is the type of person that like to bless people, because he never forgot where he came from and what he was trying to do, So by you saying free dinner and it's good like it was, I'm pretty sure that made him think like, okay, he wants to do something for me, I'm going to do something for him.
Exactly.
And that's how God always puts stuff in full circle.
Always.
Something from the heart, then it comes right back to you.
Yep.
Okay, so tell us about the Steve Harvey, when you worked with Steve Harvey.
Now, Steve Harvey, the radio show that Steve Harvey had here, and at the time it was, Glory Greens. Now everybody know about Glory Greens. Glory Greens, but they, their name, because Glory Greens was the African American owned company, but outside of Greens, they had all kind of stuff from breakfast products that a lot of people don't even realize they have. And so they reached out to me and they were like, hey, we want to know if you could take these dishes and make them into like these breakfast style things. And I was like, of course, yeah. And so they was like, okay, great. Since we see that you can master that, we want you to go on Steve Harvey's show. And they had me on Steve Harvey's show for, I think it was like a week. And I was taking like all these dishes that you would normally eat for dinner time and flipping them for breakfast. Like, take, for instance, the Glory Greens itself. When you take them, drain them, you saute them down, you can add them into eggs and bacon and make a quiche, because normally quiches will have spinach in them. But we put the collard greens, and so hey, quiche. And Steve Harvey, I already ended up loving the dishes, which was so crazy, but they were good. Like they had like these sauteed apples, made apple turnovers, and during the time of that week of just really experiencing that with him on that show, man, I think Kirk Franklin stopped through and a couple of other places. It just one experience really just leads to the next one. And then even after doing the Steve Harvey, I had the opportunity to do the Rickey Smiley show, which is an amazing show, hanging in the studio with him and DeBrad and his whole team. Tom Joyner's show, which is an amazing show. I've spent time in the studio with them, and it's just been just a continuous great journey. And of course, I was slated to be on the Tom Joyner cruise this year doing the show, but when the pandemic hit, it shut down the whole world. So I turn all my cooking segments and everything that I do, I turn it into just filming, and I do a lot of online shows from home. Quick 1-minute videos and post them on my social media, just to still have that engagement.
I know. I was hoping that once we did the interview and stuff, that I can get you to cook something real quick.
Oh, man.
But I know you're probably not ready for that.
No, I'm not. Look, but you know what you just set it up, so that means that we'll have to do another show so I can cook
something. Exactly. Well, since I know that you're in Atlanta, I can actually come to you and we can do the show there.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, ATL is where I dwell.
Man, okay, look. So, what inspired you to start cooking?
I started cooking as a child. My father was a chef, and really just spending time with him in the kitchen as a child and seeing how he created. I really had an amazing fascination for food. But the biggest thing, what I really loved was the reaction people give when they eat great food. Yeah. And that's why I always talk about, chefs are truly, the reason they call it culinary art is because it's an art form. And we're painting a picture with our plate. And there's nothing greater than seeing the joy and satisfaction when someone eats a dish that you've created. And they truly just love what it is that you make. And from there, once I got that first taste as a young child, seeing somebody really just love what I make, I was hooked, and it led to me opening my first restaurant when I was 16 years old.
Oh wow!
And then from there, I opened my first restaurant, as a matter of fact, out of my mother's kitchen. And from there, I remember I wanted to buy a car going into my senior year in school, and from me wanting to buy that car, I had $50 from cutting yards. I had $50 from cutting yards, and I pitched the idea to my mother, and she was like, "How much money you got, Jernard?" And I said, "I got $50." And she was like, "Where you gonna open up a restaurant there with $50?" And I said, "Out of your kitchen." And she was like, "But you got to do it the right way." And I'm like, "What in the world is the right way?" So she made me create a business plan. Just based off of my whole thought process, made me create a business plan. Then she took me to the local courthouse, where I grew up was a city, Ashland, Mississippi. And she had me go to the local courthouse business license. People in the business license office, they laughed at me. "I didn't think you're a little businessman," but they gave me the business license. The business license was $5. Then she took me to the local supplier where I got my ingredients. And I remember the first week I made $150. So I'm thinking to myself, man, for $50, making $150, that's good. And I just kept selling food to the people in the community, the construction workers, and just anybody who was open to coming and experience what I was doing, because my father passed away, and that's what led me into doing it from that point. And long story short, by the end of the summer, I was making $3,000 a month selling food out of my mother's kitchen. Wow. Yeah. Yep.
Us being from Mississippi, that we love food.
Yeah.
Everybody love good food. But
exactly.
It's hard for me to find good food here in the ATL. I love ATL, but it's hard for me to find
it. It really is. And
food.
And that's one of the things that, I kind of grasp with Atlanta. Now, there's a large variety of food, but one of the things that I feel Atlanta hasn't quite grabbed on yet is being known for a specific cuisine. Like, say you go to Chicago, the first thing people are gonna recommend, you gotta go get the deep dish pizza from Giordano's, or you got to go to Portillo's and get Italian beef. Those are things they're known for. You go to Memphis, everybody will say you got to get the barbecue. Yeah. So those are things. Texas brisket, Louisiana gumbo, things like that. Even Mississippi is known for, like, crawfish and catfish, stuff like that. So that's one of the biggest things that I feel Atlanta, unless you want to just call Atlanta home of the chicken and waffle, because that was one of the original things that was here. So
yeah. Wow. So you said that when your dad passed away, that was one of the things that made you want to start cooking.
It is. And it was almost like a sense. It still gives me a sense of having him near me, because that was one of those things that he instilled in me.
So every time you cook, it's like,
yeah,
and it's for Dad,
It is.
Yeah. So I know your mom is very, very proud of you right now.
She is, and especially one of the things I've always did is, the saying is still true: give a person the flowers while they're living. Because my mother was was truly my number one fan, and always supported me in helping me be successful in achieving his dream. And so as I continued to grow and travel, I always took my mother with me because I wanted her to experience what I was experiencing through her own eyes instead of just coming home. You know, because it's one thing you go off and you experience, you have this amazing time, and then you come back and tell somebody about it, but it's nothing like them experiencing it and seeing it for themselves. It's a whole nother experience. So because like the premier and first lady of Bermuda flew me into their country, and they centered a whole festival, which was called the Bermuda International Festival, around me and creating these whole cuisine shoot. That's something like that. I brought my mother with me because I wanted her to experience that also.
Yes.
So
that's what I was thinking about. I said, once I start just really traveling and doing certain things and being certain, because it's like everybody that I meet in this allegedly, that I listen to my mom and dad playing their music. I tell them, I was like, hey, could you sign an autograph for my mom?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I want it to be for her. And people don't realize everything basically that I'm doing is for my mom and dad, and it makes me feel good because they did music. So it's like, hey, I'm doing this and I'm,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's really what it's about, allowing other people to experience those opportunities, because our parents pushed us to our own greatness and doing what we're doing. And so I feel that's even a way of showing them, hey, what you did for me, I really appreciate it in life, and I value it. And so I just try to show you through everything that I'm doing.
Yes, yes. And tell your mom she did an awesome job by how she actually trained you to be this business person that you are today, because there's a lot of parents that kids come to them saying what they want to do, and that parent ignores them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And that is so true. And one of the things, like during this whole pandemic, and when they had the quarantine, stay in place, and all of that, our kids, one of the things that me and my wife Kena did was, hey, we were like, let's form a think tank. Let's form a think tank with the kids. Like, since we have them here, they in the house, closed in. Let's start thinking about, not driving in to think about things that they want to do, things they want to create, because we had those, because of course I own a manufacturing company where I create a line of sauces and seasonings by the name of Whole Cuisine. And so our kids, that during the time where like the hand sanitizers drought, you couldn't find them anywhere, our kids created a custom hand sanitizer that's named Clean Wells. And it's been doing very, very well. And our son, our second to the oldest son, he's just recently created a hair care product that he had been utilizing this whole time to grow his hair and curl his hair and things like that. So, and it's small things, because and I look at it and I don't take it for granted, and because a lot of great ideas, a lot of great concepts come from small ideas. And I just equate, my life and my testimony. Hey, it was just an idea, and before I ever, was able to pay my way to go to culinary art school and things like that, I was just a young boy in Mississippi with $50 and said I wanted to open up a restaurant out of my mother's kitchen, and she believed in it and helped push that. And so, and look at what it has, what it has done for me today. It has taken me around the world numerous times and landed me on some of the most iconic TV shows to now having my own show.
wow. I want to say once again, congratulations. And also, tell us something that happened in your life that basically made you almost want to give up. And how you got past it.
Mm. I think probably one of the man, one of the biggest things that truly just made me want to give up. And I wouldn't say just want to give up, but was like, I'm done. I'm done with this, kind of thing was my one of the TV shows that I did, Food Network Star. Food Network Star. It was one of those shows like you when you're at the height of your career on TV, things like that. Now I've been on Food Network for years and finding to get because that was their number one show. And when I got crowned the runner up instead of the winner, at that point I was like, man, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with TV, done with, with doing these shows for Food Network, because I've been finding, I've been battling on all these shows, winning all these shows. Like one of the only chefs to win Cutthroat Kitchen 2 times in a row, going through all of these grueling challenges. Just like, dang it. And I'm like, these jokers called me because, I didn't apply for none of these shows. They would call me up. Yeah. And when that happened, I was like, you know what? I'm done with it. I'm done with it. I'm not even gonna even worry about even doing any of these shows. I'm just gonna focus on, just my manufacturing and the products and things like that. And honestly, God truly, spoke to me and told me, said, and what he said was, I didn't make you the winner because I have something so much more bigger for you. So it's not for you to give up or throw in the towel. It's for you to take advantage of a situation that I gave you. And at first it was kind of like, I don't even know if I really understand the grasp it. But then as life started to truly unfold very rapidly, I truly saw what he meant. And what the message was in it. And the message was, if they had crowned me the winner of the show, that would have meant I would have been locked down in a contract for years, and wasn't necessarily guaranteed that they would give me my own show. I'd have been locked down for years. I couldn't have been on nobody else's TV. I couldn't have did anything else, and I'd have just been sitting there dormant at the mercy of them. But I would have been able to say I was the winner. But because they strategically made me the runner-up instead of the winner, it gave me all these different loopholes and caveats in my contract. Where now that was 4 years ago when I was on that show, because I got the reminder. I got the reminder in my phone. It had been 4 years. I was like, dang, it don't even seem like it's been that long. But because of those caveats, not only did it allow me the benefit where I now co-host the show on Food Network's cooking channel, but I also have my own show on a completely different network. Wow. And I couldn't have did that if I had been the one winner, because my contract would have prohibited me from doing that. So now I have a show on Cleo Network, which Cleo is short for Cleopatra, but it's a network for millennial women of color. And that's one of the things I truly want to create, a show and a concept with New Soul Kitchen that really nurtured into our culture, into the ladies, into what we're doing, into anyone that's looking to eat great cuisine, but have it provided to them in an entertaining way that's designed for us, by us. Wow. And that's why I'm happy. And that's one of those reasons why I'm glad that I continue to really just keep pressing forward and keep staying in it.
Wow. So what is one of your favorite dishes that you like to make?
I think my favorite dish that I like to make is a smothered catfish with crawfish etouffee over the top of it. And I did a cooking video that's on my Instagram page as Chef Jernard. But what I do is I take the catfish, and create a blackening seasoning, put the blackening seasoning lightly pan-seared so it get nice and crispy with the blackening seasoning on each side. Then I take crawfish, tomatoes, my celery, bell peppers, and onions, and make a nice creamy sauce that I pour over the top of it and lay it on the bed of rice. And oh man, it's it's to die for or to live for.
Wow. Okay, so before we go, I wanted you to give some people some inspiring words that they can take on for the rest of their life. They can help them grow.
All right. As I always say, this one word, you want to lock it in your mind, lock it in your heart, and seal it, because that's what I do. And the one word that you should always remember is endurance. Endurance is the key to achieving anything that you desire and that you want in life. You know, endurance, you think about when you're running a race. As your endurance get low, you kind of tend to slow down. If you're in a boxing match and your endurance get low, then you kind of get weak. But what you want to do is keep that endurance going. And by keeping that endurance, you know, like I said, if you're running a race and when your endurance run out and you slow down, it's okay to slow down. But once you slow down and get that second win, you keep on running, because whatever it is that you're dreaming, that you desire, that you want to achieve in life, is going to take endurance. And that endurance is no matter what obstacles are placed on you, placed before you, or challenges you feel that you run into. It's the endurance that you have to self-motivate and self-create and self-sustain yourself to keep going to get through it. And if you push through it with endurance, you'll always reap the rewards.
Wow. Wow. So, y'all heard it here. Thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate you. And we're going to do another set once this virus is over with, where we actually cook.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And remember that no one and nothing stopped you from following your dreams. You have been watching Living Your Dreams with Rosita with Jernard Wells and Rosita Cooper. Peace and love, peace and blessings. Peace.